Hey everyone, welcome to Luminar Coffee Break. I'm Angela Andrieux, and today I'm going to show you how to batch process images in Luminar AI and customize those edits because not every image is a one size fits all. Hey everybody. So today we're going to be talking about batch processing. And in using batch processing, a typical issue that we run into is that we apply a series of edits across a broad range of photos, but not all of those edits necessarily will work for each and every photo. So we need to go back and make a few adjustments to those individual images before they're ready to send off to a client. Let me go ahead and give you an example. Up on the screen, I've got a really cool series of images from one of our ambassadors, Javier Perdina. And these images were all shot at the same place, similar lighting, and we want to give them a similar and cohesive look across the entire series. So what we're going to do is go over to our templates, and I'm going to scroll down to where is it here? It's the Urban Style Collection, and I love Edinburgh. And I think it creates a really nice look for this image, but I want to make a couple of adjustments to really make this look my own. So I'm going to go over to the Edit tab. I want to take a moment and say hello to Andrew. Hello, Joseph. Good to see you guys today. And let me go here to my tools. And we're just going to tweak this a little bit so we make it a little bit edgier, give it a little bit more detail and definition. To do that, I'm going to go to Structure, and I'm going to pull that structure up to the right, adding some mid-tone contrast and clarity there. It's looking pretty good. And I also want to go down to our Dramatic tool, which again adds a little bit more of an edgy feel, gives it a little bit more contrast, and actually desaturates a little bit. So we'll go ahead and bring that up a good deal. I like what that's doing to the image, and we can even refine this a little bit by bringing down the brightness, pulling back up a little bit of that saturation, and perhaps even adding a little bit of extra contrast. So now this is getting to be a really cool looking image. I'm even going to back off that brightness a little bit more, make this a little bit darker. There we go. All right, so the last thing I want to do to really make this look my own is to add a vignette. We'll pull our amount slider down to -100. Go down into our advanced settings. I'm going to bring that feather up for a nice smooth transition between the light and dark areas. And now that I can really see where that vignette is affecting my image, I can back off that amount slider to the point that it looks natural. Right about there, I think looks great. And now I can save this as a custom template that I can apply to other images. So I'm going to go down here to the bottom, click on the ellipses menu here, and click Save. Now, anytime I want to apply the same series of adjustments to another image, I can go over to Templates, go back to the main Templates panel. Let's scroll up here to our My Templates section. And now I have one called Edinburgh Edit. And I can change the name of that if I like to something that's more descriptive of this particular shoot, or I can leave it alone if you want to rename it. All you need to do is click on the ellipses and choose Rename, and you can call it whatever you like. All right. So now let's go back to our catalog and take a look at our series of images. There's a few different ways to get the edits that we applied to the first image to these other photos. The first thing we can do is right-click on that image, go to Adjustments and copy those adjustments. Go to another image, right-click, Adjustments, and paste. That's going to bring those adjustments over from one image to another. But if you have a lot of images that need to be worked on, a faster way to do it would be to select that first image, hold down your Shift key, click the last image in the series, and then go back to that first image, right-click, Adjustments, and Sync Adjustments. And that'll bring those adjustments across your entire series of images. There we go. Now we have this same cohesive look and feel across all of the images, but some of these need to be tweaked a little bit. Let's go back to our first image here. I really like it, but I think it could be better if we cropped in a little bit tighter. So we can just jump over to our Edit panel and go up to Composition AI and bring in a quick crop here. And I think that is a much nicer composition for this particular image. We go ahead and hit Return, go back to our catalog, and take a look at the next image. Another way to do this here is to go ahead and double click on this image. We're going to go to View. There we go. And we want to show the film strip. And you'll see that brings up a small preview of our images here at the bottom, which now we can easily go here in our Edit panel and click from picture to picture to go ahead and refine those changes. So let's go to the next one on our series here. And again, I think the composition on this one could be pulled in a little bit tighter. And our subject is not perfectly centered. When we created our vignette centered perfectly on the image. But in an image like this where our subject is a little bit off center, we might want to adjust the placement of that vignette. So I can hit return on this crop, go down to my vignette tool, and click on choose subject and move that vignette over so our subject is perfectly centered in the middle of that vignette. And it'll just refine it that little bit more so each image has its own touches that work for that particular photo. Hey Julie, so glad you're able to join us today. All right, so now that we've moved over that vignette, we can click over to the next image. This one I really, really like, but we've got an interesting dynamic going here with the angle that it was captured at. So we can straighten this one out a little bit. We can go to our composition AI. I'm going to tilt this back to try to line up some of those lines, but now it makes our subject look a little bit tilted. So we might want to just embrace that and even take it a little bit more dramatic. And so I think that looks really good for this photo. I might pull this in a little bit tighter just to get rid of that little bit of his arm down here that was showing. I think that looks really good. Hit enter on my keyboard and then that image is complete. So you can do this across an entire series of images to make every single image look its best, but you've already gone through and created that cohesive look between each and every one with your edits. I hope this helps you make your workflow a little bit more efficient, especially when you're working on a series. One thing that you always want to pay attention to with a series is getting all of those images to have a similar mood. And by applying a template, whether it's one you create yourself, like what I did today was I took an existing template, made it my own, and then saved that template. Whatever you choose to do across a series, make them look similar and then tweak them a little bit so everything looks just right for each individual image. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up here on YouTube. Our producers love seeing that. And if you have any questions, make sure you pop them into the comments below. I'll do my best to get those answered for you in the coming days. With that, I want to wish you guys a wonderful afternoon. We'll see you next time. Bye.